quite a few resolutions, I realized like, firstly, you cannot think too small. Because if you think too small, then by February you finish your New Year resolution, then you're done for the year already. But if you think too big, you get very demoralized. Like half the year, you're still not even close to your New Year resolution. So usually for New Year resolution, I always do it like the easy, medium, hard. What up, what up, what up?
And welcome to our coffee shop. I'm your host, Jin Yong, and welcome to an episode of the KopiBrosa show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you tuning in via YouTube or any other sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for listening. We are just a Singaporean duo that are talking about New Year resolution. Okay, once again, I am joined by my very resolute Kopi bro, Brandon. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing not too shabby. Resolutionalize, I think that's the word. I don't even think that's a word.
Okay, Brandon, I don't know about you, but do you find that it's a bit weird, like after because this year the New Year was in like on Wednesday? Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday, yes.
I think we have to go back to work on Thursday, Friday. Do you feel like it's a very funny, funny time to go back to work? Like, it's like things never change, but at the same time, you're in a new year already.
Yeah, it's like no 3, no 4. It's like we're in a new year, but then it's like it doesn't feel like it. You know, it doesn't really feel like the new year on the 2nd of January. It's just like back to normal.
It's a very weird feeling. Like you feel that work is still the same, but it's like I'm already in a new year, this kind of thing.
For my line of work, especially when we were doing more sales related work, when the new year is really the fresh refresh. It's like everything become back to zero. Then like it's all about like getting your goals aligned for this year again, and then you just get. So it's very important to start your year right lah. I feel I'm the kind who I used to be the kind that like everybody just write New Year resolution, then them on about New Year resolution for I think like 2-3 weeks. Then after in February it's like what resolution we make?
But for me, I see a Chinese New Year as the big restart. Like New Year's I don't feel anything, but Chinese New Year maybe because there is a longer break time in between. So I feel that I always work more towards the Chinese New Year. Then I wait for the 4-5 day of break. Then I feel like, okay, then my new year has started. My 2025 has started after the Chinese New Year. Now, before we talk about New Year resolutions, right, I want to ask Brandon, are you the kind that will have like, they will really sit down and say, okay, in the new year, I will do A, B, C, D, E. Are you this kind of person?
Yes and no. It's because for a lot of avenues, be it in church or be it in my workplace or be it in with my wife, like that we already have a lot of goal plannings and a lot of like setting the tone for this year. For example, my church you have 21 days. My church have 21 days prayer and fasting to decide what change you want for this upcoming year. Then in my workplace, you have to set targets both in personal and your work for this coming year. Then for me, for my wife and I, we always sit down during the start of the year to decide what our goal for our family is for the start of the year. So personally, I don't even need to do it to have it, you know. So I don't do it, but I do it through all these different avenues lah. Yeah.
I also don't have like a temple or like a church where the collectively we will do this kind of like goal planning together. I mean, work yes, but on a personal basis, right, I don't really do New Year resolutions. Yeah, but so that's why I'm always quite interested. Like, let's say you set New Year resolutions, we don't talk about like company now, because company and work, all this kind of thing is like target setting, you try to hit. But on a personal basis, like this kind of New Year resolutions, when you set this kind of New Year resolutions, do you like have a problem fulfilling them, or like you are slowly working towards it like constantly throughout the year?
I feel like it depends. For some of the very unreachable goals, like I always have previous last time I always just have like a multitude of New Year's resolutions. So like after making quite a few resolutions, I realized like firstly you cannot think too small because if you think too small, then by February you finish your New Year resolution, then you're done for the year already. But if you think too big, you get very demoralized. Like half the year you're still not even close to your New Year resolution. So usually for New Year resolution, I always do it like the easy, medium, hard. Yeah, for easy, medium, hard, or like so there's a easy your easy New Year resolution which you should confirm complete. Then the medium one and the hard one.
I want to talk a bit about New Year resolutions, but we will talk about it. How do you say? Two from each of us. Okay. One of the New Year resolutions will be something you want to do in the coming year, the 2025 one, and then the other New Year resolution will be something that I will call it a stretch goal lah. Like you want to set something, then you like maybe you can't do it this year, but we will slowly work towards it in the next 3 years or the next 5 years kind of thing. Okay, so I would like to ask Brandon, are you ready to share your New Year resolutions with everyone?
Yes, get ready to be resolutionalized by my goals.
Okay, Brandon, so will you share with us your short-term and your long-term resolution?
So my short-term resolution, right? And I believe most people can relate to this is a weight goal.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I believe most people, especially that's the reason why gyms are so popular in the January and like they always have promotions in January because they know everybody in January is like New Year, new me. Let's get fit. Wow. Fit is life. Wow. 5 a.m. goals. Then you start to see like wow. Suddenly the gym's filled with people after the 1st January. But it's true. But it's because I really feel there's a reason why fitness, especially going to the gym or weight goal, is important. Is because you need to practice or have discipline to keep fit. To either go to the gym every other day or set a schedule, and it takes a proper planning, be it dieting or going to the gym or like it's a lifestyle. When you're able to achieve your weight goal, you are able to achieve many other goals, be it in your work or personal, because you know how to attack a goal. Because last year my goal was to lose weight, so I lost weight, but I didn't lose until that much. Yeah, so last year I started BFT and I did a bit of running and like do some fitness exercises to play pickleball. Yeah, but so last year I lost about 6 kg. I was like 93, 94. I'm like now 88.
Oh, nice.
6 kg. It was 6 kg. Yeah. So this year I want to lose another maybe 5 kg, but I want to gain a lot more muscle. So that's why I switched over from a HIIT gym to a Anytime Fitness gym.
I think as you grow older and you have more responsibilities, right, the difficulty in gymming is not actually the exercise itself, but it's sort of like making time for the gym lah. I think that's the difficult part, to arrange your time. Like Brandon, I tried a few times to so-called cut my weight this past year, but very difficult to maintain lah. Always like so much easy to inflate than to deflate lah.
But your metabolism rate is no longer when you were young. You're young, you just like you play, you sweat, you don't even need to exercise. But then now you look at potato chip already, you gain like 5, you really gain 1 kg already. Just like, it's a fact, it's a temptation. It's like, especially when you're working, you're sitting down, you're eating a lot of snacks. I don't know why people love to buy snacks. Like everybody loves to snack. Then suddenly like share your snacks, then you eat your snacks, then people offer you, then it's just like an endless spiral.
How about I would say a stretch goal, a goal in the long term, or the resolution in the long term?
So this has always been my long-term goal. My 10-year. It used to be a 10-year goal. So now it's probably my 5-year goal. So I have a dream like when I was younger, and it's still my goal to this day. Especially it got reinforced recently because I like to host gatherings, especially during Chinese New Year. Actually, in the past, I love to host gatherings, be it as and when I want for every random event. But my house is now very small. So I can't host anybody. Okay. It's like my house is only like 800 square feet. It's like about there, 800 plus square feet. Yeah. So my goal was always to stay either at minimum right, a 1,003 or 1,500 square feet house, right, where it can house at least 50 to 80 people. And either to be able to have, like, for if it's condo, it's easier because you can have barbecues and you have function rooms. Landed, of course, it will be a great, amazing thing. Like a strata house will be amazing as well because you get to have people chilling at your a pool or something, your own private. It's more private lah, yeah. So I would say it got reinforced recently because I was trying to host. I mean, I'm trying to host a Chinese New Year gathering. It's like I want to host like a 30 people, 35 people Chinese New Year gathering, but my house has no space, so it's like, wow, I was just, in my mind just thinking, how nice it would be if I can just, like, if my house can fit everybody. I don't need to worry about like space or like where's everybody going to sit, how to segregate the rooms, where the kids going to play.
Then you cut the timing.
Stagger, or like some people come earlier, some people come later. But then it doesn't feel very Chinese New Year-ish because it's like we're all the same group. Why must stagger? You stagger, then it's like everybody like different group.
Or certain region in Singapore that you want to like eyeball.
Yes. Of course, and the eyeballing has been for Amanda our goal, of course, is the Newton that stretch lah, like the Balmoral stretch.
Oh.
Yes, but that's expensive, of course. I don't want to push down my other aspirations for just this goal, because, for example, I don't want to stay. I can stay in the 1,300 or 1,500 square feet house, right? But it's very far away from any good school. So like Bradley will in the end have to sacrifice his school. He has to go to like some random school, or like we have to stay at Tengah, then far away. Like, and now Bradley, my son is 3 years old, turning 4. So the next house we move into is the house that will be applying for schools. Yeah, so that's why it's hard. Yeah, that's why it's very hard. So we cannot move to a place that's very big but very far away from like anybody or any school, good schools, because we want him to go to a good school as well.
Interesting, but I think these are very realistic how to say, short-term and long-term goals, and I believe that a lot of Singaporeans will share your sentiment lah. Or especially when you're at a certain age where you have a family. I think these are some of the very important things that from personal standpoint and from a family standpoint, these are some of the things that we want to do so that we can provide comfort for not only for ourselves but for the people around us. Let me share a bit about my personal goal for 2025 and a bit more about my so-called long-term goal. Because I'm single, I don't have a like girlfriend or family yet. So my goals are very quote-unquote selfish. It's all a lot about myself. I want to learn one new thing in the coming year. So I don't know whether I shared with you before. I keep a small notebook, where I try to record one thing that I learn every day. Just one small thing. It can be small things like the other day I just learned, what's the history behind all these like cheers? When you cheers, you have to hit glass. The history behind all these cheers and hitting glass, right, is because last time when people cheers, right, the real way to do cheers is so that your wine can go into people's glasses. So if you cheers, right, wine will go into your glass, your wine will go into people's glass, right? So if you all drink, right, and the wine got poison, we die together. So it's meant to be like, if you cheers, it's meant to show people that my wine got no poison, your wine got no poison. So it's meant to be
trust, like, it's a sign of trust.
Mutual to say that we trust each other. That's why there's a so-called, you must hit each other glass at this kind of big events lah. You guys, but for me, I really love this kind of like general knowledge. You can call it general knowledge, you can call it small bits of history, you can call it like that day you enlightened me about the history of M&N. Is meant for the kind of US Army, this kind of thing. I love this kind of small info.
Yeah.
So the past 2 years, I've been trying to document one new thing I learn every day, but I always only managed to do like maybe 9 or 10 months out of 12. I never really completed one whole year of like 365 days, 365 small bits of info. So I'm challenging myself to finish it like 365 days, 365 small bits of info, like in 2025.
Actually, very similar, right? To if you watch Friends, right? Friends is Ross's New Year resolution, right? Is doing something new every day for the year. But yours is
interesting. I think I remember that episode.
Yeah. So yours is learning something new, which is actually good because you write, you learn like be it facts, fun facts, or interesting facts, or stories, or a history, which is very good because it increases your general knowledge by a lot.
On a more like 3-year kind of goal, Actually, this is something that I have been wanting to do for a very long time. I don't think I told anyone about this, but I always want to learn a martial art. Yeah, because
Ooh, wow.
up to a certain point, I think exercise gets a bit boring. And then I'm not the kind that likes to exercise in like a whole classroom setting. I don't know why. A few years ago, I watched this Olympic sport called judo. Oh, I fell in love with it. The game is only, I don't know, 1 minute plus, but I loved it. Like, there's this ippon, there's 1 point, there's half point. Then just see these two people go at it. I just don't know why I find it very fun, like throwing people and then you see how it wrestles kind of thing. Yeah, so I always wanted to learn judo. But I've asked around, a judo membership, right, is even more expensive than a gym membership. I think on average, a month is at least $200 to $300, depending on which judo studio you go. So in my current financial state, sadly, I cannot afford this money per month. Okay, so in the next 2 years or 3 years, when I'm in a better financial state, either my business gets better or, I do something else, then I'm hoping that I will have enough money to start this judo lesson. Then at least I can go like once or twice a week. Then, then I can like do this sport, which I find it fun. Okay, so I think that was our episode. Alright, that was our New Year resolutions episode. If you enjoyed that, please remember to give us a like and subscribe. We have an episode that comes every Monday, but at the same time, if you're into football, we have football card drops every Wednesday, and our game show drafting podcast, the Edge Draft podcast that drops every Friday with me and Brendan here. Now, in addition, if you're into fun knockout tournaments, we have a weekly tournament that goes on an Instagram tournament every Monday to Thursday. That's uniquely tied to this week's episode. I think for this week's tournament, we'll be doing New Year resolutions. Okay. There's actually also a ton of games that are yet to be played, so please head to our Instagram for Monday to Thursday to vote. Hope that everyone is having a happy new year. But remember,
a kopi a day keeps your troubles away.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2025!
Happy New Year 2025!